Hello and welcome to the Awaken Feminine podcast. I'm your host, Kaki Lee, a mindset coach and healer who's on a mission to share the love and wisdom of inspiring women from around the world who have gone through adversity and turned their pain into purpose. Today, I'm excited to share the love and wisdom of nutritional health coach and founder of Fully in Balance, Dalia Brunschwig, who is joining me all the way from Zurich in Switzerland. Welcome, Dalia.
Hi, Kaki. So excited to be here with you today.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. So, Dalia, before we dive in, I always like to ask my guest this question. Can you share with us what is your definition of an awakened feminine?
So that's a great question. I believe that the definition is that we as women, we all have a superpower, right? And with this superpower, we live a journey with different dreams, and we can achieve those dreams if we follow them, no matter how hard the road can be. So yeah, as a mother, as a businesswoman, um, it's just making those dreams come true.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a beautiful definition. I've got like full body goosebumps, is a beautiful definition. Thank you so much. So, Dalia, let's dive into your journey. I know you used to work in quite a corporate job. So, can you share with us your journey from, going from corporate to becoming a nutritional health coach? And I know you specifically help Jewish women. So, can you share with us, what led you down that path? Did you have a spiritual awakening or a aha moment?
So yes, I come from the actually logistic background, where I worked in different corporate companies like Nike or Avaya, Lucent Technologies. So I really come from that kind of background. And when I gave birth to my youngest daughter about 7 years ago, I I was going through a difficult delivery, which made me weak and not back into myself straight away. So I couldn't go back to that corporate job, and I took care of myself by listening to my body and getting back the strength, losing weight, and feeling great just by changing the nutrition. So that's when family, friends saw that change in me, and I started helping them and decided to get into this journey.
Wow, that's really awesome. And isn't it amazing how once you become a mother, things can change so quickly. Your priorities can just shift in an instant, right? And so going from like a corporate job, working for someone else to, being the mama, I know you've got 3 kids, and being that entrepreneur, how are you like balancing everything or working through like, at the moment everyone's stuck at home most of the time. How are
Mhm.
you finding yourself balancing everything and not going crazy?
So we all have ups and downs, right? So
Yeah.
it's like really being super organized, making sure knowing what is more important at the time. So right now I actually focusing on my family and my household. Like you said, we all mainly stuck at home. So so my focus is really actually giving them that safe space at home and making sure that they feel loved, they feel protected, and that there is this balance and harmony at home, right?
Mm.
At the same time, I still have my clients and I still want to work. So it's actually prioritizing and finding that balance that makes it right for me.
Yeah.
And if I need to slow down, I would slow down, because again, it's all a journey, like we mentioned at the beginning, and I'm following my dream. But
Yeah.
being a mother came first. So
Yeah.
I like to be here for them.
Yeah. I love that. And it's so true. Once you become, I mean, sometimes I'm a bit of a workaholic, and sometimes I'm like, let's pile everything on and forget that I actually have children and a husband and a house to, look after, and everything becomes a bit too much. So I just love that, you you can find that balance and prioritize, go with the flow. Like when things are, your family needs you more, then you kind of go there, but when you can, then you kind of go back into business mode more. So I really love that. So for a lot of people, I find they ask me, it's like, well, Kaki, how do you have the time How do you have the time to run a business, do your podcast, look after the kids, etc.? So what do you have, what kind of advice would you have for people that say they don't have time?
Time is a priority, right? So you make what you can. If you believe you can do it, right? So it's really, I love my morning routine. Trying to, I'm actually more a night person than a morning person, but I made that shift in my, like that switch in my head that wake up, have a morning routine. You feel so much more productive when you start your day having done things. And yeah, so before the kids get up, before you actually take them to school, well, or start your Zoom class, because that's the situation today.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really making 5 small goals every day and trying to accomplish them, rather than having a whole list and trying to do too much without actually accomplishing anything, right?
Yeah.
So I like to actually take the example. I know as busy moms, we like to cook. I mean, at least I do. I cook. I freeze. I like to give fresh food to my kids, but sometimes I don't manage. So the same way I tell my clients, cook once and eat twice, right?
Yeah.
So I also try to do that. But the same thing I do with my ideas. I freeze my ideas. So I have always lots of ideas because of my business. I'm also a person which, yeah, like always coming up with new things. So I make sure that all those ideas stay there somewhere. So they're actually in the freezer. And when it's the right time, I defrost them and
Mm.
then I take them and apply them. So I don't know if this makes sense, but it's like those 5 small goals sometimes might repeat themselves, but sometimes there are new ones coming out of that freezer that and defrost them to implement them.
Yeah. I love that analogy. I love it. It's so true because, when you have kids, you're just constantly having to run around them. And so you've got all these things in the back of your head. And yeah, I love the way you said you just freeze them and then you defrost them when you have the time, like when you make the time to do it,
Right.
and then go from there. So I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you. So Dalia, I'll love you to share more of your love and wisdom with us. So I want to talk about experiences where it was quite hard for you to go through, but then it led you to something that was really great, like a really good breakthrough in the end. Can you give us an example of something that you've experienced that was really challenging but really led to a really good breakthrough or biggest breakthrough?
So for me, what's very hard is to leave my family behind and to live today in Switzerland. I'm originally from Spain, but I lived in Israel. My family is all around, but moving away from like this warm, Spanish big family, and moving away to Switzerland, where it's more like Eastern European, and that was quite tough at the beginning. But what good came out of it was that I have an amazing husband. I have an amazing family. I have my own, you know, my own family. And with today, with technology and everything, you can just be so close, even,
Yeah.
during COVID time. So, yeah, it's just like appreciating every moment, no matter how hard it is. So my family obviously also misses me, but the fact that I am doing well and I'm happy and healthy, that makes them happy. And the same way, from my side. So it's just appreciating every moment and being grateful for every day. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
just sometimes we see things and we believe it's a bad situation or a worse scenario, but at the end, it's just all for the good thing, like.
Yeah. Definitely. I love that because I think so many of us go through our life every day and we're not grateful for what we have because one, we don't take time to, give
Appreciate.
appreciate what we have. And then a lot of people, tend to want to have more than what they have, but not appreciate what they already have because, well, you are where you are because that's where you're meant to be, and you can improve your life, but you need to appreciate where you are first in order to then have that clarity to know where you want to head to, right?
Right. And I have to say, without the support of my husband and children, and I know they're still small, but they love, they say, Mommy, when I'm big, can I be your secretary? Can I help you with this? Can I answer the phone? Full imbalance, hello. So it's really cute.
It
Their
is.
support, their love, and I wouldn't be able to really pursue my dream and helping other women out there if I wouldn't have my family support. So I'm very appreciative of that, and grateful for everything I have every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Bless your kids. They're so gorgeous. My daughter's always wanting to be on my podcast as well. So maybe one day she'll be on my podcast.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I mean, they are still healthy kids. They're still challenging and demanding, but
Yeah.
that's part of the growth. So
Yeah. And our kids are like our biggest mirrors, right? It's, whatever they trigger within us is what we need to work on.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So Dalia, can you share with us what you believe is the greatest lesson you've learned in your life so far?
I would get back to like being grateful for every single day, for
Mm,
waking up healthy,
yeah.
or I mean, especially after the hard delivery I had 7 years ago, and being able to be here with my family and see my kids grow, and be able to help other women out there to have a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
Uh, that's my biggest lesson. And today with COVID is so difficult. I don't know when I'm going to see my parents again. I know they're healthy and they're doing well, but just to be grateful for everything every day, for
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
the biggest lesson.
Yeah, I love that. It is. Yeah, being grateful is such a important thing that I think all of us need to learn. Because even sometimes, like for me, I have a gratitude journal which I write in every day, but sometimes you still have those moments where you're like, oh, you know when you have those down moments, you're like, oh, why poor me, right? And then you just need to make sure you kind of go, oh, catch yourself and bring yourself back out of that poor me and be grateful for what you have.
We all have those moments. I mean, even myself, I'm grateful, and that's my biggest lesson. But yes, you have. It's tough sometimes. We just
Yeah.
need to push, like you said, like get up and go on and be grateful for what we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, Dalia, I want to ask you, when you're in those down moments, what are some of the tools or teachers that have been really helpful in you bringing yourself back up or teaching you how to bring yourself back up?
So something that I've taken upon me lately, it's actually learning how to breathe and to focus on my breathing, and to kind of take that moment for myself,
Mm,
and say, okay, stop. Everything else can stop. Let's just like breathe in, breathe out, be present, and then move on.
yeah.
Even if I have my child calling, Mommy, 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 I said, just 1 minute, Mommy will be back.
Yes.
It only takes 2 minutes, but it's really just like kind of breathe in, breathe out,
Yeah.
and just realize of this present moment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And I love that you actually tell your child to wait, because I think a lot of times we, like as mums, yes, we do put our kids as priorities. So when they call us, it's like, oh, okay, get to them straight away. But sometimes when you need those few moments, it's just important to set that boundary, right? So I love that you can do that, and that your kids actually listen to you and give you that space.
sometimes they listen,
Yeah.
sometimes they don't. Depends what they want.
Yeah,
But
true.
yes,
But
and
at
something
least
else
you
that's
try.
yeah, and something else that's really worked for me also, it's at the end of a busy day, is just take my time and have my bath with salt, like
Yeah.
salts and lavender, and just kind of disconnect before I go to bed. And that's really amazing. I,
Yeah.
I would recommend it to anybody. Just take your time for like your self-care
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I really like baths, but the bath at my house is not great. Like, I
Yeah,
don't do
okay.
it enough. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Dalia,
you need to enjoy the environment as well, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, my bath. So whenever I stay at hotels, I always run a bath and just,
Yeah, yeah. You
lay
need
there.
to also like it,
Yeah,
but yeah, for me, yeah, I really love it. Yeah.
yeah. So Dalia, I'm an avid book reader, so I love reading. Do you have any books that has made a big impact in your life, or any books that you really recommend for people to, help to change their life?
So Atomic Habits has been a great l- teacher for me,
Yeah,
like it helped me, and it also is helping my clients. I recommend it to anybody. I always go that it's all about progress. It's not about being perfect. When I try to teach them how to encourage them how to have a healthier lifestyle, everything, you can't change from today to tomorrow, like everything. So taking those small baby steps every day or every other day can make such a big difference. And this book is just amazing. It really can explain it so well that I would recommend it to anybody. And it can be really a life changer when it comes to anything in life, actually, not only about healthy lifestyle, not about weight loss, um, anything you want to do, really.
yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's about like taking the steps to get to where you want to be. Yeah, I've read that
Yeah.
book and it is a great book. And yeah, as you say, is taking those baby steps, because if you don't even take those steps, then you're not even going to get to where you want to be, right?
Right, absolutely. So you need those baby steps to make big changes.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. And don't underestimate how the baby steps can take you to that big leap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So, Dahlia, if you could like time travel and go back to a younger version of yourself, is there a piece of advice that you would like to give yourself?
Appreciate every day, every
Yeah,
moment.
yeah, I love that. It all comes back down to appreciating what you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, being grateful.
yeah, definitely. So, Dahlia, I mean, we talked about how a lot of people are stuck at home right now. Um, And there's lots of men and women listening right now who want to make changes in their life, and they're feeling stuck in their career, in their relationships, in their health, or whatever it is. But they're stuck or lost, and just they're in a rut. So what advice or recommendation or tips do you have for them to just get them out of that rut so that they can actually start making the changes that they need to get their life to where they want to be?
So it's actually related to the Atomic Habits book, if you think about it, because
Mm,
like I said, it's all about baby steps. So have one goal, and to get to that goal, whatever it is, where it's like how to be more active, how to eat healthier, how to change your job or look for another job or start looking for another job, right? So it's all about having that goal, and from that goal, making baby steps that will make you reach that major goal. So what are the 5 steps you need to take to reach that goal, and work one at a time without a time deadline, just like kind of,
yeah,
if it takes you 1 week, it takes you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but just every day should be progress, and
yeah,
celebrate every win, celebrate every progress.
yeah. I love that. Yeah, it is the timeline is really like written in the sand, right?
Right. We get
And
under pressure, and there's no need for that. We'll get
yeah,
there, but you just need to take it day by day. And
yeah. And like someone like me, I'm actually quite impatient. So I have to remind myself not to get hung up on the timeline, because I think we get taught it's like, oh, we want to achieve this goal by a certain date. And when we don't, it's like, oh shit, I failed. I'm not going to keep going, right? But well, doesn't matter if it takes a year or 5 years, if it's somewhere you really want to go to, right?
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah,
like we can't control, it's not in our hands, certain things, like,
yeah,
how many dreams did we have before COVID hit us, and everything turned
yeah,
around. So
yeah,
you do what you can.
yeah. And really not to let the situation affect where you want to be, because there's people that are thriving at the moment with everything that's happening, because they can see things from a different perspective and they're grateful for what they have and appreciate what they have. So then they can see clearly, okay, this is where they want to go, and then they keep going regardless of what is happening.
Right. So it's all actually the story you have in your head and that you tell yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's all about the stories that's in your head, and we love telling ourselves stories.
Exactly. So the story can be a good one or not such a good one. So
Yes.
make it a good one so your dream can come true, or whatever you want to get to, you can reach there, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Dalia, I'm all about self love, because for me, that was a big, big part of my journey. I didn't look after myself. So, I had a meltdown and, had to learn to actually take care of myself and love myself again. So, as an awakened woman, what can you tell me what your definition or what self love means to you?
So it's actually accepting yourself the way you are and appreciating, again, back to appreciation. But it's really, like, especially I work with women that they believe they are overweight, they don't feel right in their body. And I always say, accept your body the way it is, because as women, it's a miracle machine. We give birth,
Yes.
the body changes, we have this cycle, so just accept it the way it is. Of course, take care of it. I'm not saying underestimate that, but just love your body, love yourself the way you are, and yeah, just feel good with yourself.
Yes.
And that's the best self-care and self-love you can give yourself.
Yes.
It's feeling good in your own body.
Yeah, I love that. And especially as mamas, once we have the baby, our body changes. Like
Exactly.
there's no going back, right?
Yeah.
And we start judging our body, but we grew a freaking human inside of us. Come on,
Yeah,
like you need to
exactly, the
go,
body changes.
woman, you grew a human. That is amazing. And appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. Be grateful. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's really, the body is a miracle machine. It
Yeah.
works. It's unbelievable what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I love
take it
that.
from that point of view, and give it the love it needs.
Yeah.
Of course, give it the right food, give it the right things, and just go for it.
Yeah. Love that. And as a busy mama of three, an entrepreneur, what are the top three things that you love to do to give yourself some self love?
So I love walking. Really enjoy walking, especially during these crazy times, and I love to be out in the nature. Switzerland is a beautiful country, so I learned to appreciate it. I love reading as well when I get the time for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love also cooking and baking, but
Yeah.
without any pressure, for myself, for my family,
Yeah. Yeah.
as a hobby. I
Yeah.
love
For
trying new
fun.
recipes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally get the for fun thing. I'm not much of a cook myself. My husband cooks. So I do like cooking, but it has to be like relaxed. Like
No,
do
no,
it
I
in a
cook a
time.
lot. I cook a
Yeah.
lot. I cook a lot for the
Yeah.
family, also yeah. But I like it. Of course, I enjoy cooking, but I love it even more when it's just for fun.
Yeah. And Zurich is beautiful. I mean, I went there, gosh, so many years ago, 13, 14 years ago. So it'll be amazing when I can visit, and I can come visit you and my sister-in-law
Absolutely.
who's just moved over to Zurich. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait until, hopefully soon, once this is all
Yes,
over. Yeah.
crossing our fingers. So, Dalia, before we wrap up, I'd really love to know, in this current chapter of your life, what is your personal mission and what is setting your soul on fire right now?
So my mission, my dream is to help Jewish women stop dieting, losing weight by listening to their bodies and loving themselves,
Yep.
accepting themselves as they are.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm excited for your mission and seeing how everything unfolds. So, Dalia, thank you so much for sharing your love and wisdom with us today. If people want to find out more about you and how they can work with you, where should they go?
So I'm actually in all the social media platforms, or the main ones, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn under Fully in Balance.
Okay.
Or they can find me on my website, which is fullyinbalance.com. So that's where
Perfect.
they can find me.
Cool. Thank you. I'll have all your details and any recommended resources available in the show notes so people can reach out to you. Thank you once again, Dalia, for being
Thank
on.
you. This
Thank
was so
you.
much fun. Thank you, Kaki.
Thank you. And until
Bye.
next time, I love you, I believe in you, and you are worth taking that first step to the life of your dreams.